Yo, the cost of living is ridiculous. So, my lease is about to end, and, I'm apartment hunting, just looking around. And I haven't been apartment hunting in so long because I've been in my current place for about 2 years. And now that I'm looking, I'm like, oh, this is what they talking about. I'm looking at 1 bedrooms for $2,000, $2,100, 2 bedrooms, $2,300. I would never pay that for an apartment. I will never. And I know a lot of people keep saying, just get a house, get a house. It's not that simple, buddy. When you have a house, your base mortgage could be $1,600, but all the other stuff you got to pay on top of that, you're paying a lot more than that. I know people paying $2,600 for mortgage, $2,700 for a mortgage. No, I'm not doing that right now. And then you understand property taxes, HOA fees, all that stuff that adds up. Having a house is not cheap. It's very expensive, and you need to be financially well off to have a house. And most people are not financially well off, and they have houses and they're house poor. I don't want to be that person. Baby steps. Now, I'm thinking to myself, there's no way I'm paying that much for an apartment. But at this point, I have no choice.
So I'm apartment hunting right now, and I'm trying so hard not to get angry about the whole thing. We might already be past that. But there are so many apartments out there that want to charge $1,800 plus for less than 600 square feet. It's a shoebox. It's so sad. What is happening? This is the system we've set up after all the years of humanity even existing. This is where we're at. This is how it's going.
In today's video, we're going to talk about rent, how a lot of people are struggling to even move out of their parents' house, or they have to relocate because the rent is too damn expensive, or how it's just making cost of living unbearable for a lot of people. For a reference point, my rent this year went up 6%. Apparently, they do this once every 10 years. I think it's like a tax reassessment. Anyways, it sucks. A lot of people are staying at home now longer than ever. Personally, for me, I moved out of my parents' house at 31 years old. You're told when you're younger, move out at 18. But a lot of people are stuck living at home into their 20s and 30s because they cannot afford to move out. And rent is a big hurdle that stands in their way. When you have apartments, 1-bedroom apartments that are over $2,000 per month, or 2 bedrooms that are around $25 or $100 per month or more, you really start asking yourself, how much money do I actually need to move out? Well, in today's video, we're going to go over exactly how people feel about today's rent in 2026. Let's get into it. Well, she hasn't said anything yet, but anyways, 40 years old, 2 children, moving back in with her mom. That's brutal. I mean, she's lucky to have a mom that would even do that. And that's a pretty crowded household, A lot of our parents bought homes, back in the day for a lot less money than it is today. And for her, I'm assuming a single mom, that's tough. That really is tough.
I called my mom today and told her I'm moving back in. And I'm 40 years old. And
Damn.
When I say that it's hard, you got rent, you got your car note, you got car insurance,
internet, health insurance if you have it. It's a lot. If you have a condo, you got an HOA fee. If you watch TV, cable is so expensive. I don't even have cable. I just have Netflix, Hulu, and a few others. I use Tubi for free. If you got Amazon Prime, you got Amazon Prime TV. Cable is a huge scam. They raise your prices every year for no reason. Yeah, that's a good way for you to save money if you're looking to cut costs somewhere.
You have your cell phone bill.
Mm-hmm.
Last month, I spent over $1,500 in grocery.
Yeah, that sounds pretty reasonable for 2 kids. It's a lot of money. Well, last month, so that's about a little shy of $400 a week. Yeah, that sounds about right. Today's economy, that's wow. That is a pretty large amount in just groceries. I mean, I spent 300 for just myself very easily. And that was just in 1 week, just buying not even a full food shopping too. So yeah, that's definitely not unheard of.
I don't know. I don't know how you guys are making it, but I'm ready to move back in with my mom and help her pay her rent.
Landlords, you're not checking our credit score anymore. You're checking our blood pressure. You want 3 times the monthly income to rent some of these places?
Yeah, that's insane. My place was like that too. They had to do everything under the sun, credit check, obviously, your tenant history, but also to meet that threshold. And wow, the average rent's over 3,000. So I'm lucky. Maybe that's a luxury apartment or just across the board everywhere else. For me, mine is just over 2,300 for a 2 bedroom, but this is a very old apartment, no central air, no laundry unit inside, no parking spot. So there's really no amenities, nothing. So it's bare bones, just a regular apartment, like a roof over your head, electricity, and water. That's it, and heat. But yeah, 3,000 a month. If you do the math on that, times 12, 36,000 a year, times 3, that's 36, 72. That's about $108,000 a year salary. Do most people make that? No. And they say you shouldn't spend over, I think it's a third of your income on rent, your gross income. Come on now. How many people nowadays are making over 6 figures? Not many. And even 6 figures today is worth a lot less than it used to be. So that's not saying much either.
Average rent in America just hit $3,000. So $9,000 a month. The average American is not making that kind of money. This shit's crazy, dude.
My car's not starting. It's not even my car, it's my mom's car I've been using because I can't afford to save up for my own car because the rent is so high and the bills are so high.
Yeah, it's not uncommon in California to have a bunch of roommates too. Personally, I can never do that. I just watched some show on Netflix. It was called something like Worst Roommate or Someone Off This Roommate. After seeing that, I would be very skeptical on having any roommate. Yeah, I just can't do it. Friends is one thing, but still, very few people have your exact view of how you should live in an apartment as yourself. Some are messy. Some go out and party a lot. They're always having people over. It's you've really got to vet your roommates well. And even then, it's just better to have your own place. But again, rent is so expensive. This apartment is $23-25 a month. It's pretty expensive. You got to have a lot of income just to be able to apply for this kind of an apartment that I have,
My other car got repoed because I couldn't afford to pay the payments anymore on top of my rent and all the other bills, so I let it go. I don't pay AAA anymore because that bill is also too high to add on to everything and try to make cuts everywhere. So now I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do with my battery, what's wrong with my car to begin with.
And single mom too. Yeah, it's tough. When you have a kid and you have no spouse to help you with income, that's an uphill battle. Just one person on your own trying to make ends meet is already hard enough. Now you have someone else that that is dependent on you. It just adds to that stress. And you can see it in these people's reactions.
I have no money left. I already paid the rent. I already paid everything else. This is reality. This is America. As a single mom. But I still got to make it to work. Because how else am I going to do anything if I can't make it to work?
Average rent in Ohio right now is over $1,000 a month, according to Apartment List. And that's only climbing as housing costs face the same pressure that everything else is under. The Iran war, tariffs, and the inflation risks are adding pressure on interest rates and the cost of building and renting. And MAGA Republicans have backed the policies driving that pressure instead of working to ease it. What are you paying for rent in Columbus right now? Because for a lot of us, it's a lot higher.
Why is rent so expensive? I remember 9 years ago, we lived in
a lot of people move into luxury apartments, and I know it's nice to have security, a gym, a lounge, and a pool. But if you're not going to use those amenities, you're wasting your money. Like they're saying, like I said too in this video, rent is already super expensive. if your priority is just to build independence and move out of your parents' house, just find any place that's a relatively safe area. Don't try to seek the best newly renovated place only because you want all the amenities. You got to really ask yourself, how much can you afford, and then go from there.
My hot take is paying more than $700 a month to rent a room should be criminal. I live in Las Vegas and I pay $850 a month for a room and a
Yeah, again, I just can't do it. Separate family, roommates. I'd rather just stay at home and keep saving up money and try to move out. I can't do that. Just today's generation, today's society, it's just not like it used to be. You can't trust anyone. You got to really just look out for yourself. And when you're living under a roof, people that you don't know, to me, it's not a trade-off I'd be happy to take.
shared bathroom. Nice area, nice little house, but personally, I think that's too much money. But that's kind of the average going rate here and elsewhere. But personally, I think anything more than 700, maybe 750, you can convince me if it's a nice house, nice area, a lot of things nearby, maybe. But even in expensive cities like LA, Washington, I personally think nothing over 750, you should be able to charge. That's just criminal for my
Yeah, especially for just a room. I'm assuming a shared bathroom. Upwards of $1,000 is just too much.
So I'm in the middle of selling my house right now and looking for apartments in and around the DMV area. And I'm not gonna lie, I was not prepared for the sticker shock of how much these apartments are going for these days, man. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, for context, we bought that house in 2021. We've been there for 5 going on 6 years now. And as a result of that, I was insulated from the inflation everybody else has been going through because my cost of living has been fairly static last 5 years. Now, I'm seeing apartments, shoeboxes in the DMV area, not even DC. I'm just talking about in the surrounding areas and even in Baltimore.
My apartment is very small, but would I want to go back to living at home with my parents? No. That's just me. I would take the smallest apartment if it meant I had my independence than to be living under someone else's house. That's just me. Now, I love my parents. I'm not saying this in bad respect to them. I'm saying, like, I don't care about having the nicest apartment. Clearly not. I mean, this apartment is so old. We don't have central air here, no parking spot, no in-house laundry unit, no gym, nothing. Everything is old. Everything breaks down. I have a screwdriver right next to me where I'm always trying to fix things in the apartment. A freaking faucet in the bathroom clogs all the time. The toilet just stops working sometimes. I've seen it all, but I still am just happy that I have my own place. So that's just me, though. I mean, what do you think? Are you okay with just having a basic apartment if it meant you could have your freedom and your independence, or do you rather have, all the amenities and such? Drop your comment down below and let me know.
It's more. They want almost $2,200 for a shoebox, not even 700 square feet. Now, thankfully,
yeah, mine's not even 700 square feet. For a 2-bedroom apartment, this is less than 700 square feet. It's actually less than 650 square feet. Yeah, it's a pretty small apartment.
I can afford it. I'm not going to like it, but I can make it work if need be. But I just found myself thinking, like, damn, if this is what everybody else is going through, it's no wonder everybody's struggling right now. Like, we are
yeah, I've seen 1-bedroom apartments that have 1,000 square feet. Mine's not even 700 square feet for a 2-bedroom. So I get it.
Literally being squeezed on both ends. All these landlords and apartment communities are weaponizing the fact that the barrier for entry into home ownership is so high and impossible right now for most people, and are squeezing people for every dollar they got in their pocket right now. And it's crazy because it was not always this way. I'm not even talking about back in the 2000s. I'm talking about as recently as like 2020. Before we bought this house, we was living in an apartment in Largo. We paid $1,500 for a luxury, 800 square foot apartment. That same apartment right now goes for $2,100, if not $2,200, right?
Yeah. The pandemic rose prices for everything, especially apartments, houses. I mean, you got to take your pick. You buy an expensive house or you rent an expensive apartment. Yeah, the pandemic definitely effed things up for sure.
And that's before parking, that's before utilities and everything else. Like, this shit is insane, bro. And it's like, how the fuck are young people supposed to get ahead? Young people just starting their careers, young people trying to get out their mama house, young people's trying to start a family. How the fuck are they supposed to get ahead? If they're not even being given a chance to grow financially or to save? Like, how the fuck is that possible?
I just got home and I got a letter from my apartment building basically telling me that I'm getting kicked out of this apartment. Well, not really, but that's what it feels like, because tell me how they're raising their prices so much. Like so much. And it's just annoying, you know? It's really freaking annoying because I don't want to.
I mean, mine went up almost 6%. So I thought that was illegal, but apparently they can do it once in a while.
Moving every year, but when you move, you usually get like 2 months free and stuff like that. So if I re-sign this lease, I don't get that. But anyway,
I didn't get that either. I think that's more of a luxury thing. I never got that a free month or two.
anyways, that's another story. What I'm scared about is the fact that, like, when are these rent prices gonna stop increasing? I'm 25. I never even thought I would be paying the amount of rent that I am currently paying in this apartment. I'm very freaking lucky to be able to afford this. And it's not that I'm like scared of how I'm going to be able to afford it.
I have a feeling she's in a luxury apartment. I get that feeling.
The next apartment or not, but I have to move. I can't stay here. I can't accept this price that they're increasing to next year because it's insane. You get me? I live in this neighborhood in Miami called Merrick Park. And granted, it's my favorite thing in the whole entire world. Like, it's like, it was called like the new Beverly Hills of the United States, right? And I don't know, I get it now why it's called that, because what the heck?
A luxury apartment.
I pay more on this apartment that is not like in a big place like Brickell or I don't know, another
Brickell's insanely expensive.
place downtown than Brickell in downtown. You know what I'm saying? Usually when you're living like right there in Brickell on the freaking 40th floor, you're paying more than me. No, we're paying the same thing or I'm paying more, which is freaking crazy.
You're going to have to branch out, not live in the city. You're going to have to, depending where you work, you might have to have a longer commute. You know, not move into a luxury apartment. Most people should not be in luxury apartments. I hate to say it, but it's true. Just like they shouldn't have luxury cars, you should not have a luxury apartment unless you earned it. Rent's already too expensive. Get your own place first. If you're struggling like she is with money and you have no money to invest or pay debt, you got to get rid of the luxury apartments. You cannot afford it. I don't even seek it out because I know it would just burn a big hole in my wallet. And I want to keep investing and save for my retirement. So that's just the way I look at it. What? Almost $7,000 per month? I would never want to live there. That's why you're seeing so many homeless people, man. I mean, listen, that'd be kind of cool to rent for like a week if they allowed it. I would never live in Manhattan like that. That's just wasting money. Unless you're a celebrity or ultra rich, waste of money.
New Yorkers that rent are so fed up with the rental market, and I don't blame them as a real estate agent in New York City. Put it into perspective. In 2024, a one-bedroom was averaged at $4,000. Today in 2026, a studio is averaged at $4,000.
And a studio is nothing in a city.
Prices have doubled in the last 2 years. 1.49 is the vacancy rate.
That's a box. A studio in Manhattan.
In these buildings, meaning these buildings are filled to the top. So not only are prices insane, the inventory is as short as it can be, your choices are limited, and you have hundreds of thousands of people fighting for the same apartment in the most competitive city in the entire country.
Yeah, I did see a bunch of YouTubers online. They're doing like that nomad lifestyle where they kind of just drive around and live in their vehicles. I mean, at this point, I don't blame them.
I'm not even gonna lie, rent so high, I'm about to go pick up a shift at the leasing office. I'm about to cover their Saturdays because rent is about to blow us out the country. I heard that they be getting discounts when they work at the leasing office. If you ask me, a part-time job as a leasing agent don't sound too bad.
As you can tell, a lot of people are struggling. Rent is very high, especially if you live in an urban city. But again, there's ways to save money. You know, don't look to a luxurious apartment. Try to find one that's in a safe area. If it has lights on and it's, everything you need and that's it, the essentials, it's fine. At the end of the day, you're looking for a place to lay your head at night and that feels safe to you. Everything else, the gyms, the pools, the lounges, that should be extra if you're really balling and making a ton of money. Aside from that, you should be looking to, really research the area and see where your salary can net you the best apartment for you. Anyway, so I'm just curious, what has your experience been with renting? And is your rent also very high like these other people and mine? Drop your comment down below and let me know. If you enjoy this kind of content, please leave a like. That being said, enjoy the rest of your day.